All the way to the end, folks.
Very nice what you do. Very nice.
But do not go outside the door.
We got Vinny. Yes. Okay, Paula, shut the door on
Continue on down, folks.
Come on down so everybody can get in. Lots of people behind us.
Take a couple rows, squeeze down, be very
Folks,
friendly.
head on down that side.
This way, guys, this is where we're going to work, down
Just
here.
please be mindful that you don't flash your eyes.
If you're all in the same class, you should be very friendly. Everything's going to happen right where I am. Hey, welcome to the National Park Service Franklin Court Printing Office. Not Ben Franklin, he didn't work here. His place was near Christ Church, 2nd and Market. But he did live out back, and the Park Service decided to put a printing office in this building. This is the type of things you'd find in an 18th century printing office. The two presses are reproduction. They're copies of the 18th century presses. The advantage to being a copy, I can show you how it works. If it were the real thing, no, they wouldn't let me touch it. Have it in the glass case someplace. So I can show you how Ben Franklin made his living as a printer. Usually two people did this. One would ink the press and the other would pull. First we get the paper on, the paper made of linen back then, we're using cotton. Get the ink beaters, get some ink, put the ink on the beater, to two beaters, smear it around a bit. Nothing fancy, just wooden handles, sheep's wool on the inside. It'll let the covering. And what I do is just beat it onto the type. And I think I have enough to do that. Next, to pull the press. Usually two people would do it, one inking, one pulling. They do a sheet every 15 or 20 seconds. And probably about 2008. This is pretty much how they printed everything. The way I'm doing it right now is the way Ben Franklin printed. Same technique. Same method of printing. One sheet at a time. He had his newspaper, the Pennsylvania Gazette, that very famous almanac of his, and this is the way he would have printed them all up. Right now, I am printing the Declaration of Independence, the broadside version of it. About 2,000 copies were printed. And there are about 25 still, well, about 200 copies printed, about 25 still around today. This is what the Declaration looked like when it first came out. The broadside version of it. This was the quickest way to get out news back then. Print it up and send it out. Yeah, I got a question?
Yeah, why is like the middle of this?
That one I messed up there. I'd have to do it again, really. Didn't put enough ink on it in that spot, I guess. Didn't get quite enough. But a good printer would not do that. He'd get ink in all the right places. The last stop here, the last part of this business is to let it dry. Put it up on the rack like that. That's pretty much how they printed everything, just like that. Any questions, guys? Yeah.
How
Yes.
did they make like the X like this?
What's that?
How did they make the thing that you printed off?
I mean, how they make the type? Type we keep in the cases over by the window. That's where we have the type That's where the composer would put the letters together. Each letter is a separate piece of lead type. But that's where they were composing it, putting all the letter words together. Yeah.
What was Benjamin Franklin rich?
Yeah, he's pretty rich. He's able to retire when he's 42. He's that successful, and he goes on to politics and science. Yeah, he's pretty well off. Ben had a pretty good life after. He's a pretty successful printer. He made him a lot of money. Yeah.
How do you take them off?
What's that?
How do you take them off?
Pretty much the same way I put them up there. Take this thing, use it. We'll slide them all together and take them down using this. Ever seen one of these things before?
Looks like a pizza.
How long
Yeah, at a
does it
pizza
take?
place, something like this.
How long does it take to dry?
A couple hours, depending on the weather. Yeah.
If you that's right there, that thing that you put the ink on,
Uh-huh.
that's a model of Declaration of Independence. What if you wanted to do something else?
We could take this off and put something else on. Well, you'd have to put a board underneath it to make sure it didn't fall apart, but it's all little pieces of lead type held together by wooden wedges holding everything nice and tight. Well, we would slip a board, I would take it off and put a little board underneath it so it wouldn't fall apart when we lifted it up. Yeah.
How do you make the type stuff?
That was a different trade. It's like hot molten lead poured into a mold. But that was a different trade. That's something Ben didn't do. He'd buy his type. Yeah. Yes.
How would you take the ink off?
They'd used like lye. They'd use lye to clean it off. We use this commercial type wash. Any other questions, guys? If not, I guess we're done.